I'm extremely grateful to the Gairdner Foundation for choosing me for this award, and I accept it on behalf of the entire respiratory community. Respiratory research has a rich history in Canada, beginning in Montreal with the work done by the Meekins Christie Laboratories, which began in 1925, including work that was done at the University of Western Ontario by Charles Clifford Macklem that's formed the basis for treating premature infants with respiratory distress syndrome. We might then shift out to Winnipeg, where Reuben Cherniak did fundamental research that contributed to intensive care units. And then come back to Toronto, where a group of surgeons, beginning in the 1920s, established thoracic surgery as an independent discipline. And really like to mention in particular Joel Cooper, who is the person who never claimed to invent the individual single lung transplant, but he's certainly the person that made lung transplantation work. Now, coming to my own personal research, I'd like to talk about a collaboration I have, first with Joel Cooper, who I mentioned earlier, who I first met while we were both residents at the Massachusetts General Hospital, and also with Dr. Avi Spira, a Canadian working in Boston who's an expert in bioinformatics. This work has allowed us to look at gene expression in relation to lung destruction in chronic obstructive lung disease and develop a 127 gene signature for this destruction that we've published recently. Most importantly, the bioinformatics group in Boston was able to show that this signature for tissue destruction can be reversed by a tripeptide that may have some value in the future in the treatment of this disease. I'd like to stress that this isn't an answer to COPD, but it's a beginning to show how we can study gene expression in relation to the disease process itself and look for new treatments for a very troublesome disease.